Have you ever noticed that some people almost never text first, but when you text them, they reply normally? They might even seem interested. So, what's going on? Are they confident, playing games, not interested? The answer is more complicated than you think.
They don't feel the need to initiate. Some people simply have a low need for constant connection. They can like you, enjoy talking to you, and still go days without thinking, I should text them. For them, silence doesn't automatically mean something is wrong. They don't measure relationships by who starts the conversation. And that's an important distinction. Low initiation isn't always low interest.
2, they learn to wait. Some people have developed a passive communication style. Maybe they've spent years being the person who responds rather than initiates. Eventually, it becomes their default. They're not necessarily trying to make you chase them. They're simply comfortable letting other people open the door. But there's a catch. If you're always the one opening that door, you eventually learn something about the balance of the relationship.
3, they protect themselves from rejection. Initiating means exposing yourself. You send the message, then you wait. And suddenly, their response, or lack of one, can affect your mood. For someone sensitive to rejection, avoiding the first move is a simple form of emotional protection. They don't have to experience the uncertainty because they never created. So sometimes what looks like confidence is actually avoidance.
4, they don't want to appear needy. This one is surprisingly common. Some people have learned that showing too much interest makes them look desperate, so they deliberately hold back. They think, if they want to talk to me, they'll text me. The problem? When both people think this way, nothing happens. 2 people can genuinely like each other while waiting for the other person to make the first move.
5, they're matching your energy. Sometimes they're not avoiding you, they're observing you. If you've always been the one initiating, they may assume that's simply how your relationship works. And if you suddenly stop, they might notice immediately. Not because they're playing a game, but because your behavior changed. This is why patterns tell you more than individual messages.
Sometimes they're simply not that interested. We can't turn every behavior into a psychological mystery. Sometimes the simplest explanation wins. If someone consistently gives short replies, never asks questions, never follows up, and never makes an effort to see you, that's different from someone who rarely initiates but becomes engaged when you talk. Interest isn't measured by one behavior. It's measured by the overall pattern. And that's the biggest mistake people make.
They obsess over who texted first, instead of asking, what happens after the conversation starts? Do they listen? Do they remember things? Do they continue the conversation? Because someone can rarely text first and still care about you. And someone can text you every morning and still be emotionally unavailable. So the next time someone never texts first, don't immediately label them as arrogant, uninterested, or manipulative. Look at the entire pattern. Because psychology isn't about decoding one behavior. It's about understanding the person behind it. And sometimes the most revealing thing isn't who sends the first message. It's who keeps showing up after the message is sent. If you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe. And tell me, do you usually text first, or do you wait for them?